Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
Third time's a charm, everybody.
It is just amazing how difficult it can be to get through an intro that we've done 473 times.
Well,
you know,
sometimes it happens.
It just falls out of your head. So today we're going to talk about, there's a number of trailers that came out as we sit here in the beginning of first couple of days of April. We watched a TV series that you may or may not want to watch. And there's some other stuff. Right?
Yeah. It's a show.
It's a show. That's a show. That's plenty. What else do you want out of us?
How much more does the listening audience really deserve?
Probably quite a bit more, really.
I would have, yeah. Now that I've said that, you're right.
I was going to say, Barry, you made that comment?
We demand a lot, but check us out on Instagram. I posted some pictures. You know that guy, I told you about that guy who was on one of those clapper boards from last week, Paul Cameron. That dude's done a ton of stuff. And I have done nothing with my life, but that's fine.
Oh, don't say that, Dave. You're hosting the Regular Joe's podcast.
That's right.
He directed a lot. He directed a lot of Westworld. Well, there you go.
Yep.
So maybe he'll be doing a podcast soon. I don't know.
Your lives have gone in different directions, but equally as successful.
Yeah, maybe. Well, no.
Yeah.
Probably got
Okay.
Academy Award nominations.
Okay,
One more successful than the other, but still.
But still, it's fine. You got your health. That's fine. Let's go random. I wonder who has the. I bet no one has my second one. Go ahead, Todd. You can go.
Okay. Starfleet Academy gets the green light from Paramount Plus.
How long have we been talking about Starfleet Academy? Them doing a series like 10 years easily.
Oh my God, longer than that. They talked about this during Next Gen. They
did that sort of. Was that a backdoor pilot with
the Lower Decks episode was a backdoor pilot, and the idea was, will people embrace these younger characters and take it back a little ways? But they've kicked it around in a number of different iterations. We still don't really know much about this, though I suspect from the little blurb that it's set in the Michael Burnham timeline in the future.
Oh, God, no. Please, no.
Oh, well, I hope not.
It said, I'm trying to find it, it said that basically Starfleet Academy is being, where is it? I can't find it. Basically, he said Starfleet Academy is being, let's see. Anyways, they said it's coming back together after 100 years. So that would be the only timeline I can think of, or the only time period I can think of.
Is Tilly going to be the lead? And she's it would be so much better
just ruined it for me.
Strange New World.
This is going to be all about feelings and stuff.
We need like old school Starfleet Academy, Finnegan, and all that.
Admission is now open to Starfleet Academy. Explore the galaxy, captain your destiny. For the first time in over a century, our campus will be reopened to admit individuals with a minimum 16 years Earth age or species equivalent. So, yeah. Who dream of exceeding their physical, mental, spiritual limits, who value friendship, camaraderie, honor, and devotion to greater cause than themselves. The coursework will be rigorous. The instructors among the brightest lights in their respective fields, and those accepted will live and study side by side with the most diverse population of students ever admitted. Today we'll encourage all to share their dreams, goals, and values to join a new generation of visionary cadets as they take their first steps towards creating a bright future for us all. Applied to
so
that doesn't sound interesting at all.
Everything that you just said could be in any time period except for that first part about
that at 100 first time in 100 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what year is that? Like 29th
but wait a minute.
century?
Didn't they go 900 years in the future or some stupid amount of years?
But the Federation had only collapsed like 100 years earlier because remember the guy who was third generation manning that outpost? Okay.
I just hope that with them saying that the next season is the last season of Discovery, that maybe we were abandoning that whole.
No, I think they're going to make Discovery Junior.
I think this is I agree, and I think it's yeah.
And I'm curious if they're going to spin off some people, because they said they don't plan on starting to go into production until 2024.
Honestly, when I first heard it, my first thought was, this is where they're going to transition Pike to after Strange. They'll start the series, and then they'll move, when Strange New Worlds ends, they'll move Pike over to it, and you'll spend like the next 3 seasons saying, not this episode, no, not this episode.
Yeah.
And
you had me excited for about 5 seconds, and then the wind is already out of my sails. And I didn't even hear this. When did they announce this?
Oh, you didn't hear this?
No.
It was a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was.
Was it the same day that they announced that Strange New Worlds was already renewed for a 3rd season?
No, it was after that.
It was
Day
4
or two
days
after
ago.
that.
Okay. All right. Well, so Strange New Worlds is renewed for 3rd season, and we have the premiere date for season 2, which is June 15th.
Yeah, that's
So super excited about that. You know what? I did not think Picard season 3 could be as good as it is, so I'll reserve judgment on this. But I'm not loving anything in that time period.
no.
But maybe
it's too convoluted. The characters are horrible.
But maybe when you remove the Discovery characters from the equation, maybe they can still make a good show set in the future.
If you look at the Tilly episode from last season as being a soft pilot, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a lot of like, oh, you've got to work together despite the fact that you hate each other, and we'll see. We'll
yeah.
see. I'm going to watch it because it's Star Trek, but I'm just like, I'm so.
I mean, that's like the plot line of every
I know
teenage. I mean, that's
what
I
I'm
hate
saying.
To say that's the plot line of Cobra Kai. Like,
Yeah.
it's like same kind of thing.
Yeah, we need an old school Star Academy, which it's so funny. You see the Academy open 16 years and over, and then you go back to the JJ Star Trek. Everyone was like 35 in that.
Yeah.
It was like Grease. It's like all the teenagers are in their 30s.
Okay, so really, it's like every '90s high school movie where everyone at the prom is in their mid-20s. Yeah.
Oh well, that was one of mine too. Barry, what do you got?
Well, this is a real quick one, but so David Ayer is now saying that his cut of the 2016 Suicide Squad isn't perfect, but it's better than the studio hack job. And he's now like saying, release my cut. Not the Suicide Squad. I'm talking about Suicide Squad.
David, no one cares.
Like,
the ship has sailed.
is this just a way to get your name back in the press? Like, why are you bringing this up at this point in time?
Okay, to which I say, did you cash your check? Because
Yeah, I mean,
it's like it's 6 years down the line.
There's a lot of ego with these people.
yeah.
They're all being left-
I saw that headline the other day, and I was just like, this is like the Snyder thing was one thing because it was kind of he was brought in and he had a vision and it wasn't fulfilled, or you could argue whether there ever should have been a Snyder cut of Justice League, but this is even
Okay,
more.
I will say this: everything wrong with Suicide Squad, okay, was on film. Okay, it wasn't the cut. Now maybe there's other stuff they would have done, but there were a ton of scenes in there that just did not belong in that movie. Okay, they were totally out of character. That were totally. I mean, and he filmed those scenes. So, yeah, you can say.
But that, I mean, look, I'm not defending him, but to be fair, that's every movie. They shoot so much stuff for movies these days that they don't use. But
well, yeah.
I mean, in this case,
but I'm
it
saying
sounds
he
like
shot.
the
You're saying he
studio
shot
took it over.
he shot scenes that he never intended to use. I mean, it's.
They do a lot of things because they honestly these days these kind of movies are made in the editing room.
Yeah.
But still,
But whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone will be, oh, it's not my cut.
Amanda Waller is a character who's been around for 30 some odd years. Okay. No incarnation of this character kills FBI agents so they can't tell about what she's doing. I mean, it's like, that was just absurd. There's all these things like this that were just pure shock value that they slid into that movie. And I'm sorry, you don't make those things up in editing. It was a crap.
yeah. I mean, look, I think the whole thing is ridiculous. It was a crap movie.
Yes.
And how many cuts of these DC movies do we need?
Why can't the movie be good the first time?
Well, hasn't
You don't
there
have to
already
keep
been-
recutting them?
But hasn't there already been a second cut of Suicide Squad? This would be the third cut of Suicide Squad.
I don't know. I will say
There was a director's cut that I remember not being as bad as the original cut, but still bad. But we don't need a third version of it.
Yeah, no one cares. Go do something else.
yeah,
It's over, Johnny.
yeah. It really is.
I had something else. I think this may be hot off the presses. The soundtrack for Guardians 3 just was released.
Oh,
Oh, interesting.
They just released all the songs in it. I will not read all of them, but the ones I saw are Rainbow, which we know from the trailer,
yep.
Radiohead, Beastie Boys, Heart, Bruce Springsteen, and then a bunch of other bands I don't like. So,
Okay.
but there's like 17 tracks, all on the Zune,
On the Zune.
which I guess that's...
That makes sense because some of these are a lot newer. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know where Rooker, yeah, but
Yondu.
Yondu got the Zune, but hopefully it features prominently because I know we have one around here somewhere.
it's going to become a hot property.
Very collectible,
Yep.
so
So
that's interesting. So that's still a month out,
Yep.
but
Tickets went on sale today.
yes,
I don't even buy tickets a month out.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's hard. These days it's hard to plan that far ahead, and as weird as it sounds.
For sure. Any other random?
Yeah,
Todd?
Todd, you have one, and then I'll go.
okay. So a few years ago, Chris Carter announced that he was doing a animated X-Files series called X-Files Albuquerque.
Jesus.
It's not happening. So it
He's
took
on my
him, it
list.
took him a couple of years to get around to saying it's not happening.
Was that guy even work for a living anymore? What does he do?
I have no idea.
He's definitely on the list.
But he also announced that Ryan Coogler of Black Panther fame and Creed fame is doing a live-action X-Files series, which will feature a new and diverse cast. So,
Ryan, do something better.
so I guess maybe X-Files: The Next Generation. I don't know, but I kind of feel like they've just shit the bed on this
beating
show
They
so many
milked this
times
cow dry.
that
Yeah.
just let it go, Chris, let it go.
Yeah, Ryan, you're doing good stuff. You got two good franchises. Don't do this
Yep.
because it's definitely been beaten to death.
Yeah. All right. So Amazon's Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power series. Amazon did not officially say this, but according to a reputable source, there were 100 million people worldwide that are supposed to have watched this show. Amazon calls it their biggest show ever, but only 37% of U.S. viewers that started it actually made it all the way through all 8 episodes. And overseas, it was only 45%. So,
That is interesting.
interesting stats, right?
Did you watch it?
I did.
I liked it. I actually will say it took me a while to get into it, but once I got going, I did like it. I mean, it's no Willow.
Well, here's the thing, though. Willow's no Willow, but I watched all 8 episodes. I have not retained it at all. Like, I couldn't tell you what it was about.
Okay, I remember
remember
Gladriel
the
was
elf girl on
Gladriel
the
was
boat.
hot.
Yeah, I remember her and the boat and the whole thing, but I remember the very end. I remember, spoiler alert. I remember Sauron, but
Yeah, I actually do remember, and I like
I
you
don't
said, I
remember
thought
a
it was
whole
good.
lot in between.
It was slow going, and one of the things that, and I know that's a huge deal, is whether the pace at which people watch things and whether they complete them or not. I know that was the big holdup with Sandman, was that people were watching it, they just weren't binging it, and ultimately they had very, very good numbers on it, but people, because it was so episodic, people were taking it an episode at a time and then watching other things and coming back to it. I would say I would be very disturbed by those numbers if people just aren't completing it. I mean, that's a different message entirely.
Yeah, well, that just, that to me is that it didn't hold people's attention, and it was too slow of a burn.
Well,
there was a
how
payoff
do you
at the end of the 8th episode. But
sell a second season when you didn't complete the first season.
Right.
So
Now,
that's-
even if it's 50 million people that actually watched the whole thing, then that's still a decent chunk of people. But it was also the most expensive show ever made for a single season of television. So,
that's crazy.
I mean, it's got Bezos money behind it, so maybe it doesn't
Yeah,
even need
exactly.
to be successful to
Yep.
get season 2 out of it. But I don't know, weird.
You know what's not completely boring and a total waste of time? Fanboy Collectibles.
Dave hates the Lord of the Rings.
Hate the Lord of the Rings.
He's so
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
But I love Fanboy Collectibles. There is a finger quotes Last of Us Joel figure available. That actually looks pretty good from a company called Toy Era. Don't know them. Sideshow Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood. You don't see a lot of Clint Eastwood figures. That's actually pretty cool. There's a very cool Iron Studios Cyclops statue. There is a Barry Ranker statue.
I know. I was actually just looking at it. It's huge. It's like it's a big piece, but it looks so
Yeah.
cool. It's got Boba Fett
does
riding
look
it.
cool. They got lots of cool stuff. So Fanboy Collectibles has got everything.
I will say you missed one.
The Catwoman
I
statue.
think
I know. I didn't. I almost didn't
if
want to let you know about
really
it.
want to look at Michelle Pfeiffer's gloriously upholstered ass, this is the statue for you. It's pretty epic. So
It looks just like her.
it looks
I mean,
just like her, and there's a reason why a whole lot of the promo pictures are from the rear. It is a very captivating figure. So
There you go. You got that too. So Pops and Sideshow and Hot Toys and Kotobukias and all that good stuff. Check them out online, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them Maria Joe sent you. And thank you, Troy, for he's posting and giving little tidbits. So hit them up. We know we do. Okay. So we said some trailers came out. We can go in the order I have them written in, if that's okay. Secret Invasion trailer came out today.
Yeah, I
thought it looked good.
it
looks really good.
I think it looks really good too. I'm excited for it. Last time we saw Nick Fury, he was on a space station, so it's nice to see him back on Earth.
And it sounds like from the narrative they're pushing in this, he may have stayed there too long.
It does sound like that.
Yeah. So it's good to see Maria Hill is back.
Yeah, you got Kobe. Was that Martin Freeman?
Martin Freeman
Yeah,
was
Martin
in one
Freeman's
shot
in it.
there.
You got Rhodey.
And Kira from Solo's in it.
You got a very nuanced performance from
yes.
from
I
Amelia
will
Clarke,
say
no doubt.
that she is going to be the big mystery in this, because to be this far into the series and still not have her character identified, though we see her a lot, that's very interesting. So, you would think somebody would have put that out already. So,
It looks, it does. It looked a lot of action, a lot of intrigue. I'm hoping it's good. I mean, they've done the Falcon and Winter Soldier looked good, but I feel like Sam Jackson's not going to do something bad.
Well, and I was trying to think about, we're getting close to the end of the season of Mandalorian already, and I was trying to think like what's the next big thing on Disney Plus, and it's definitely this. So
6/21 it comes out, so it's soon. Yeah,
I thought it
think
looked
that
really
looks
good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. I think that looks good. Yeah, I think we've got something going on here. We don't know when Loki's coming out, do we?
I thought we talked about it a couple weeks ago that it might have been delayed.
Oh, I don't care, but
Yeah.
and I'm just saying this looks way more interesting.
I'm not eagerly awaiting the arrival of Loki season 2.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if this could tie into something. I mean, like here's Nick, and he's got no Avengers left. Does he start building a team again? This would be a good place to do it. I don't know. We'll see.
so
I mean, it's one of. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
on the Amelia Clarke character, do they recast Daisy Johnson?
Oh gosh, you think they would bring in Daisy?
She's a S.H.I.E.L.D. character. She was a S.H.I.E.L.D. character before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., okay? Skye was not. Daisy Johnson was, okay? she was a young Shield recruit, and that's what when I see her and I see her look, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering whether that's who this character is. So
Is that going to resonate with anybody?
well, no, I'm saying, but they're going to use a certain amount of characters, existing characters, and work them into the and that's I was just trying to think if she is somebody existing, that's one possibility. That's all. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And I was just going to say, like, I was talking about it the other day with Maria. Like, part of the
Maria
problem.
Hill?
No, my wife Maria.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Part of the problem with the what's going on with Marvel right now, and again, aside Guardians 3 aside, like the last couple movies haven't, at least for me personally, haven't really resonated. And part of the problem is they're working on a 10-year plan, so they're so far into it, it's really hard to pivot
Or so
and
far
to-
out from it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, unless they're going to, because it would cause a ripple effect through everything that they're working on. It worked. This worked for them really well for the first 10 years. I think they're having some challenges right now. Feel for me anyway.
I think they are too. They're definitely. I mean, there's not anything that's like, oh my god, that was like one of the best movies I ever saw. It's like, no, it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
So I was
mean,
just
in the
trying
Marvel
to
universe.
Google, by the way, when Loki season 2 was coming out, and apparently 3 minutes ago, this article just came out that says Ki-Hugh Kwan joins the cast of Marvel's.
Oh, I had
Marvel's
seen
Loki
that. No,
season
that's
2.
been out there. That info's been out there for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, he's apparently in it.
He's short round.
He is short round. It doesn't say when
crossover.
when the show's coming out though.
Yeah, they announced that a while back, and I did see they just put that article back out again. So interesting. Now it's delayed because they have to wheel in a wheelbarrow full of extra money to pay him.
That's
now
what
that
I
he
was
has
saying.
Every
yes,
award
why
known
he's
to man.
he's not doing the indie
Good
series.
for him.
So
Good for him. Okay, the next one, Blue Beetle, which I have absolutely no knowledge of whatsoever. Barry?
Same, and I think that was a good thing because I went into this trailer going, "Holy crap, this looks like a lot of fun."
That looks like a lot of fun, and I like that dude, that Zolo dude. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name, but from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I didn't realize that
So-
he was starring in this movie.
I had remember seeing that. Yeah.
yeah, so Susan Sarandon's character, okay, is by the character in the comics. She is the sister of Ted Kord, who was the original Blue Beetle, technically the second Blue Beetle, but anyways, he was the Blue Beetle, okay, who was basically the Blue Beetle was who they patterned the
Moon Knight.
in Guardians. I'm sorry, in Watchmen, with the Owlman. Okay.
Oh.
Owlman was basically.
His name was Owlman.
Oh yeah. So
Night Owl. I think
you
his
see
name's
the
Night Owl.
Beetle ship. You see the Beetle ship in one of the scenes that they're all in it and they're flying it, and that is like very much the like classic.
Oh, the owl
1960s.
ship?
It looks like the owl ship because it's
Yeah.
identical. It's got two big eyes and little claws instead of wing. But it's when I saw that I was like, so they are tying into that original continuity in some ways. This is a character in the comics who got very much the way they show it, possession of the this artifact that gives him these powers. I think this could be a Guardians type thing or an Ant-Man type thing where nobody's going in with preconceived notions because none of these books have sold particularly well. He's been a character that's been around for maybe a decade and a half. Was in Teen Titans and whatnot like that. But this could be really a breakout thing for
It's a
DC.
kid in the comics?
Oh yeah, teenager, same thing,
Yeah.
and or maybe late teens. And I think this could be very, very good. It's definitely got sort of a Spider-Man thing to it going. It's got,
I felt Spider-Man. I felt Ms. Marvel.
Yep.
I felt Iron Man. I felt Greatest American Hero.
That's actually a really good one. I hadn't thought of
Yeah,
that.
all
But
I
those
wrote
things.
down
Yep.
Iron Man, Greatest American Hero.
Yep. And so
And then Ms. Marvel sort of finding an
yes,
artifact.
exactly, and having
And I think they're leaning into, here's a, it
heritage.
looks like a Hispanic family.
It's
George
not-
Lopez is in it.
in some ways not unlike Shazam, but without the goofiness. So
It looked a little fun. I thought
like
the
it was
trailer
maybe
looked-
a little
I'm saying
goofy,
it's
but-
a little more fun, but it's not goofy. Okay, and Shazam
Yeah.
they leaned into goofy a lot. So, again, it's somebody who's bestowed these powers who's not ready for them, and I think this looks good. And
I thought the trailer looked good.
I love the line at the end of it when he says, "This is like Batman's gear," and he's like, "Batman's a fascist." That was a great line.
And I'm glad. I remember reading that kid, but I always liked him on Cobra Kai. I thought of the kids, he sort of stood out.
The thing that nobody else will care about in the entire world but me is they used basically the Purple Rain font for the words Blue Beetle.
Oh, is that right?
I mean, it's right off of Purple Rain.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But it was so... I love that. That was great.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
I had... My interest level went from like 0 on this to about 5. So I think this got potential.
Yeah, I would say I was at 0, or if there's anything that was less than 0, that's where I was. and now I'm probably at like a 6 or a 7. Like, I'll go see this movie.
I'm with you. Me too. Yeah. I hope it's not all in the trailer.
Yeah.
That doesn't come out till August. But it does look good. So good for them. So there was a Guardians of the Galaxy commercial out now, which is nothing too special, but it was funny him trying to drive a car.
Yeah, I like how he said, "How do I get it to go backward?" Like in backward.
Put it in backwards.
Yeah, like he doesn't even know the terminology.
Did you notice though? They're not on Earth, I don't think.
No, they're not. They're on like a parallel.
Everyone is like a monkey person or something.
That we saw that in the trailer.
We saw that in the actual trailer when Drax throws the basketball and hits the girl in the face with the basketball. Yeah.
Then why do they have like a 1980?
Because it's like
Caprice?
A parallel reality kind of world thing. We saw this in Star Trek 5,000 times.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying that, but
so, yeah.
I'm so scared of that. It was Guardians was on the other day, and there's so many, Rocket's my favorite, and there's so many lines, especially when, he's about to blow up the ship that they're all on, and they're like, He's like, you didn't even give us enough time to explain what's going on. He goes, well, I'm sorry if we didn't work out the minutia. Anyway, if they kill Rocket, I'm going to lose it. And I'm sorry he's the only... him and Groot, but he's not a real person.
But that's why they can't kill him. Because they can use him well into the next century because they're CGI and they've got enough recorded voice time that they can generate these characters ad infinitum. Yeah. So... I would not worry about them at all. And I also think there's so much misdirection going into thinking something's going to happen to him that,
There's going to... How many times do you think you'll cry during this movie? I say 2.
I could go with 3. Yeah.
And I'm actually a little surprised that... And look, we're all Karen Gillan fans, but between the full trailer and this spot, like, Nebula's coming off like a funny... character, and I know she's not trying to be funny, but
they're doing in this and I think it was what they did in the holiday special.
Yeah,
they just had her like just like this seething kind of like it's like, but still part of it.
We're gonna have to figure out when we're gonna see this because we're gonna have to try to see it right away. And talk about
no question. Yeah,
for sure. So. Okay, that's Guardians. Now, am I the only one? Extraction 2. I mean, again, I
watched the trailer. I actually watched it twice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So that's Chris Hemsworth, produced by the Russo brothers, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who also produced the next one. I was watching the trailer. I'm like, okay, let's go see the trailer. But it's like, he's fighting in what looks like a prison or something. And I'm like, this is a little slow. And then it just is like, holy crap. And he's punching guys. He's half on fire and he's punching guys in the face.
I really like that. And this isn't the first time I've seen this, but it's done so well. It's less of a trailer and it's almost a scene from the movie. Because that they really stick with that whole fight in that it looks like a prison yard. But yeah, I mean, he's trying to protect a woman and then he's fighting and then she gets taken by somebody else. And then the next thing you know, they pull a pin on a grenade, and then he's having a flashback, and then his arm's on fire, and he's beating the crap out of somebody
with riot shields, and then someone throws a Molotov cocktail at him, and then it's fire, and then he's on fire, and he's punching.
I watched the first one. I'll watch this one, but just as a trailer, like the fact that it was focused so much around one like big action scene set piece. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I thought it looked good.
I don't remember
in
the first
some
movie
ways-
at all, so I
feel
have
in
to go
some
back and
ways
rewatch
that's
it.
a lot more honest than trailers have become. You know, when they give you, and like I said, I really liked in that they dropped that scene. Remember the scene from Batman that they dropped, that like 4-minute scene where they just said, "Here it is," and then you just got to live with those characters for a little
Because
bit.
it gives you a sense of the actual tone of the movie
That's
versus
what I'm saying. Yeah,
some.
versus these quick cuts that might mean something but might not.
And you probably know this, but this has become very apparent over the last few years. There are separate companies that the studios use to cut trailers.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
not the director of the movie choosing what he wants in the trailer necessarily. So
And these
it's never
companies
really
hire,
representative.
Sometimes
of the
hire
movie.
multiple companies and review the trailers against each other and decide which one tonally they want. So it's a whole different thing.
And I'm not really interested in the Scream movies very much, but I was listening to a podcast where the directors of the recent Scream movies were being interviewed, and they were saying that, you know, once they saw the cut of the trailer, they had to go back to the studio and say, there's one scene in that trailer that you have to take out of the trailer because we want it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
So, like, they were able to get him to take it out of the trailer, but, like, that's how little control these guys have over the creation of the trailer is that, like, you know, sometimes they have to go back and say, no, you got to take stuff out.
That could be a niche-y, fun job, I guess.
It would be a really fun job.
Yeah.
We should do that. You know, we're open for, just like people who say they're doing Star Wars, we are open to cut your trailers.
Yes, we
Yes.
will totally do that.
We just got to figure out how to actually do it. But
Well, between my sound skills, your video skill, like, I'm sure we can figure it out.
Hey,
there.
and I can supply studio space, so we're
Yeah.
there
good.
you go.
We can make this work.
You know what I saw when I was looking through the trailers today? I saw... It's so funny. On IMDb, you could click on trailers, and then I put most recent. There's a ton of stuff. Like, there's even overseas stuff and things like that. There's a movie, I think it's out already, called... this will set up what... top above the title is Tom Arnold. So you know where... I'm not sure if I have it backwards. Ape versus Mecha Ape. And it's basically like King Kong ripoff fighting a Mecha King Kong. It looked just horrible, but it's like, I think in a good way. I don't know. But like you've never heard of this. It's probably streaming somewhere, but
Tom Arnold, wow.
I don't know what my point of that was, but Ape versus Mecha Ape.
Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it just looked ridiculous. It just was.
But they got you. They got that stream.
I just saw the title. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's got something like that. I think it's a sequel to like just Ape, and now it's Ape versus Mecha Ape. I don't know.
Oh my god.
So the last trailer, this is an old one. I haven't seen it before. I think was Citadel, which is we've talked about, and it's another Russo brothers produced thing, but it's a series. I think previously I had mentioned it's a movie.
Yep.
It's not a movie, it's a series. And it's this spy kind of thing with Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra, something or other.
Jonas.
Jonas.
Priyanka
I'm not
Chopra
adding in the
Jonas.
Jonas.
Yep.
And so don't they have enough that
That's
they
her
need
name.
to have?
Yep.
They don't need to claim her too.
And then Stanley Tucci's in there.
Stanley Tucci, who surprisingly wasn't talking about Italian food, thankfully.
I like that show.
Me too.
I liked most of it, but then when he went to like the places where people are eating like guts and stuff, I'm like, that's not exciting.
You see, they now have a similar show with Eva Longoria.
Yeah, Searching for Mexico. Yeah.
I watched that too. So
Stanley Tucci's from around here, and he used to have a restaurant not far from here that I've been to. He's been closed for a long time, but he's
I
he's
would
a
travel
Worcestershire
with
guy.
Stanley. I think he makes the show's good. It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
the guy
But
seems
he's in this
and
too,
you know
so-
what, the guy genuinely seems to be enjoying himself. So
He's a good dude. He's married to Emily Blunt's sister.
I did not realize that. I saw her.
Yes.
She was in an episode last year.
Yeah.
And she kind of breezed through an episode. I didn't realize that was her sister.
Yeah, so I don't know if they met when they were doing what's that movie with the fashion stuff?
Yes, Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada, because she was in that.
Right,
I think
that's
that's
right.
her first movie. Anyway, so he's married to her sister. Anyway, Citadel.
Back to Citadel.
I hadn't seen this trailer, but it totally looked like a James Bond television series. They're on a train. They're skiing. There's fighting. There's gunfire. There's all kinds of stuff. I thought it looked good.
There's a lot
I'm very
going on
excited
here,
for it.
and I think it's and I think there's other elements to it, and I think it's going to be very interesting. So
There seems like there's amnesia in it.
yes.
There's a
and
secret.
some kind of like forced mind wiping thing, and
It reminds me a little bit of a ripoff of our Aesop series.
I think so.
Did.
I do. I think
we
there
may
might
have a
be
lawsuit.
some lawsuit action going on here.
Yeah, but
Well,
I think that comes out this month. The end of the,
Beyond the fact that she's a very attractive woman, I used to watch that Quantico show that she was in, and she was good in the action stuff too.
yeah, I thought she was good in that. She was
Yeah.
definitely the highlight of that.
Yeah, so I'll definitely give this a.
And that
give this
dude's
a
good.
chance.
Bodyguard was good.
The Bodyguard was good, or the Bodyguard was good. The Bodyguard was good, but that's from the 90s. My Bodyguard was also good, and that's from the 80s.
That's
Oh my god! Yeah,
Yep,
Adam Baldwin.
that is right.
that's wow. That's a deep cut.
That is, yeah.
I remember that movie very well, and it was just a clip of it on for some weird reason. So any Bodyguard, I don't know if there's any other Bodyguard movies.
When you
but they're all
think
good.
of The Bodyguard, what do you think of from that movie? Well, I remember the absurd Zen shooting in the woods where he was like listening and then shooting it. It was just like, without actually seeing what he was shooting at. He had a Browning.
I
high
always
power
remember
over
the
that,
kitchen fight scene,
Yeah.
and then he throws the knife at the guy. It doesn't say a word. He's like, "I'm not going to discuss this again."
Are we talking about the Whitney Houston?
too. Oh
Kevin
yeah,
Costner?
No, he's like
I've
he's
never seen it.
outside.
Oh, it's not. I think that's a good flick for the
He
90s.
closes his eyes and he's like shooting, like based on where he thinks the sound of, it's like it was like that was absurd. Yeah.
But it's not a bad movie, right?
Yeah, I just remember the trailers back when it came out, and I was like, "This is not my kind of movie."
I'll tell you, I've watched that within the past year.
Really?
It was one of those like Saturday night, it's going through the channels. It's 10 o'clock. There's nothing on. I'm like, all right, I'll watch this. It's not horrible.
It's
But
not
it's-
horrible, but Willow is the worst movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's way worse than Willow.
I think we need to.
It's
I
much
think
worse.
We need to do some rewatching here. 'Cause
No, I mean,
have
Willow's
not
much
seen that
worse.
since I saw it in the theaters.
I'm going to go with the first thing you said, even though
No,
it wasn't what you meant.
It's not bad. And honestly, I don't think Whitney Houston ever acted before. She was actually perfectly good in this.
As Whitney Houston, yes.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's not easy for
That
everyone
was
to
Whitney
act
Houston
as
before
themselves.
before the drug addiction.
Be kind. Okay?
Before.
Just yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a perfectly fine 90s movie.
Was that
not-
before she married Bobby Brown?
again,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
no reason to go there.
I'm
No,
not-
no,
hey,
no.
she
I'm
made
just,
some
I'm just, I'm
mistakes.
just following the rabbit hole that you guys started us down.
Watch it.
Okay,
I mean, it's a
favorite
little
Whitney
dated,
Houston
but
song? Anybody? I'm kidding.
Kevin
I-
Costner's good, and what's he not been good in?
Waterworld.
Okay, fair enough. I've
Fair
never
enough.
seen that.
No one has.
Never seen Waterworld?
No one has. Barry, you watched Waterworld?
Oh, wait a second.
God.
You need to watch it because I think if you do, you'll think Willow's not the worst movie you
I
ever
was
saw.
just going to say, how? No. Wait a minute. Wait. The Postman.
Postman was pretty bad, but Waterworld's
seen
You
worse.
don't think The Postman's better than Waterworld?
You know, well, here we go. All right. I don't hate Waterworld.
I don't. Oh my god, I don't. I've never seen either one of them.
It's a bad movie, but it's an enjoyably bad
Okay,
movie.
so you know what I remember most about The Postman? Okay, was Kevin Costner being on some interview show. I don't remember what it was. Whatever. Now it had just opened. The Postman had opened and bombed. Okay, and I remember him. This was like on a Tuesday, and on Friday this movie had crashed and burned. Okay, and he's on Tonight Show, whatever it was, and he said that obviously it wasn't the right time for this movie. What he failed to recognize, he says, is that people are just not into big, epic spectaculars anymore. Okay, and he says it's just the time for that has passed. And that Friday, Titanic was released.
Maybe it's just that people aren't
There's
interested
1
in.
week between The Postman and Titanic.
Why do you do movies like that?
And,
But in a post-apocalyptic world, the most important thing is restarting the mail.
mail. Yes, absolutely.
Is that what it is?
That's what it's
brings us all
about.
together.
The big epic films are dead. Okay, and then like I said, Cameron drops Titanic.
See, if he had only waited until Amazon was as big of a thing, then
Yeah.
maybe he could have done a slightly different twist on it. But
Yep.
yeah, okay. I don't.
No
where
Way
were
Out,
we?
good.
What was
What
that?
else was good? No Way Out was good.
I like No Way Out.
No Way Out was very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
it.
good
That's-
one. I'll give you that.
Field of Dreams is very good.
Field of Dreams is good. It's a little hippie-ish, but it's
Yeah,
good.
but yeah, but for its time, you got to think of it in the context of the time.
Yeah. Ever see Mr. Banks where he plays?
No,
No, is that him? That's not him.
no,
It is him.
is it?
He's a serial killer. Not Mr. Banks. Mr. Somebody.
Oh, I know what
Now
you're
I
talking
feel
about.
like I got to go to his IMDb.
Yes, it's
and
not
look
Mr.
up his
Banks.
movies.
It's something else. It's
It's
So
Just bear with us.
you know how when you pull up IMDb and it says what an actor's known for? The Postman is the first one listed. Dances with Wolves, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and
Oh,
The
that was
Bodyguard.
Bodyguard is good. Let's see what else we got here.
where do you come down on Dances with Wolves?
Oh, I hate
I
it.
enjoyed it at the time.
I think, I mean, obviously it's a film that's been remade like 700 times, but I think for what it was and when it was, I think it was a very good film. I think that,
Never liked it.
really,
Really?
No.
That was good.
Untouchables, that was a good one.
also very good. I'll agree
Hidden
with that.
Figures. He's a supporting character. But have you guys seen Hidden Figures?
He's good in Hidden Figures. He's good.
That's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody tears down a bathroom sign quite like he
That was all. I love that scene.
Yeah. No, that was his scene.
Hey,
No,
Tin
Mr.
Cup,
It
Tin
is
Cup
Mr.
was pretty
I
good.
said Mr. Brooks.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Mr. Brooks is creepy, but it's enjoyable if you haven't seen it.
Tin Cup was good because I liked Rene Russo in it.
Tin Cup was good. I like Tin Cup. Wyatt Earp. Oh, bad timing.
Yeah, boy, you're not kidding. You're not kidding.
Bodyguard is one of the better movies he's been in. Revenge. He stole the title of my student thesis movie. I have a problem with that.
Revenge was good. That was Melanie Griffith and
No, Revenge was Madeline Stowe, I believe. Madeline.
what am I
Stowe.
thinking of?
I used to like Madeline Stowe.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
too.
good.
yeah, totally.
All right, this has
what do
devolved
you think?
well past.
Silverado.
Also good.
Anyway, Kevin Costner not so bad.
You know,
you
he's
didn't-
one of the
Barry,
frat
what
boys
what
in Night
what
Shift?
film did you
I
not
saw
mention?
that.
Barry,
Night Shift is awesome. Night Shift is a great
Barry,
movie.
you
I don't
didn't,
remember
Barry,
him
you
in
didn't
that.
mention a film that you should have. I'm
Which
very
one?
disappointed.
Which one?
Come on, seriously.
JFK?
What's that? No. You love this movie.
I'm scrolling. I'm looking. Which one?
Man of Steel.
Oh, well, yeah, but he's like a bit part in that.
It's a significant part. It's a significant part.
Yeah. I mean, he plays Pa Kent.
Yeah. And
not
does a
even the
fine
best
job
part,
of it.
Fine.
I do.
Okay,
I think
so that's all the
he's actually.
trailers.
I think he is might be the definitive Pa Kent. I really do.
Well, he's in Batman v Superman too. If we really
yep.
want to go there.
Yep. No, I think he's. Yeah. No.
He has an uncredited credit on IMDb for being in Zack Snyder's Justice League as the voice of Pa Kent. All right, this has been your Kevin Costner deep dive.
Yeah.
And how'd
Wow.
we get there?
We went.
Richard Madden got us there because of Bodyguard.
Yep.
Okay. Next thing we're talking about, really quickly. So the CW, and I'll take the blame for this. The CW has another DC show on after almost everything has been canceled. It's called Gotham Knights.
I thought it was called Dead Man Walking because you know this show's not going to last.
I don't know if it's going to last or not, but I'm glad it sucked from the beginning because I don't want to be sucked in like with The Flash and make me watch seasons and then suck. Like I hate to say, every single thing that Berlanti's done has turned bad. This is bad from the beginning, so that's good.
Okay, so I am the comic book guy, and I would just say, you don't take the C-list Batman characters, you take the D-list Batman characters that only people like myself even know actually exist, and this is what you do. I mean, it's, whew. And then everyone is obviously very fundamentally changed from who the characters are. You change the essence of Batman himself. He's got an adopted son who we've never heard of anywhere, totally not from any of the comics, who's not Robin, who's totally oblivious to the whole concept of Robin. And this is just, it's another alternate reality Batman story. And yeah,
it's not good.
It's not good. Yeah.
And it's really, a lot of them were the teen kind of deal, but it feels like it's a teen drama that's
it really does. It's an excuse to put a Bat logo on a teen drama. Stephanie Brown deserves better than this. That's all I'm going to say. So
who's that?
That is the third Batgirl, who in this is the blonde.
The best friend.
Yep, she was originally Tim Drake's girlfriend.
The third Batgirl.
Now,
who's
Tim
the second Batgirl?
The second is Cassandra Cain.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the girl from.
She doesn't speak. She's she's trained by an Asian assassin who was her father, and
is that what Batwoman was based on?
No,
her name was Kane.
No. Yeah, no, Cain.
Kate Kane
versus Kne. So,
all right,
yep.
Just don't watch any of it.
It was really bad. I will say, what's his name? The Angel guy from
Misha Collins.
He would make a good Harvey Dent. He really.
I think the only reason this show exists is because he has a contract to get another show, and they're like, all right, we'll make this show.
He's a good Harvey Dent, and not just because he's a local guy, but I think he'd be good. Yeah,
I don't know, when you texted suggesting that we watch this, I was protest. I refuse to watch out of protest. I will not get sucked into another one of these shows.
You don't have to get sucked in if you watch it and it sucks and you're out.
But I didn't even want to waste an hour of my life on it.
I was watching it and I was thinking, at that point I didn't know if you were recommending it or just telling us to watch it. And I went ahead and started watching it.
I was not. Oh, really?
And I was
I'll watch crap.
Hey, but look, Dave. Nancy Drew happened. Okay, let's just admit it. So
I didn't mind the first season of Nancy Drew.
You've had
better than this.
So I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, well, yeah.
We all grew up in the '80s with Pamela Sue Martin as Nancy Drew, and we all had certain thoughts. And then all of a sudden you watch Nancy Drew and she's in a black bra and you're like, I could watch the next couple of episodes of this. Right?
Yeah.
You guys didn't even see that.
Yeah, we didn't. No. We didn't stick around that long. So, yeah. Anyways, this is not good. And I don't think it's going to go anywhere good.
Instead of watching that, I watched that new crappy Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, I watched that. Yeah. I thought we watched that Saturday night. Yeah. There were funny moments.
Yeah, no, there were definitely funny moments, but it cost them a fortune. I mean, they shot all over the world.
I give those two such credit. They're like, Sandler has a contract with Netflix. I'm like, let's go to Bali and Paris,
yeah,
and just make a movie.
And let's literally shoot on the Eiffel Tower.
I mean, I give them credit for let's just go everywhere we want to go. Good for them.
Yeah.
I don't remember the first one at all.
Me either.
I laughed at. I got to say, I've watched a couple of movies over the past couple of weeks, that are, and this was one of the better ones. I mean, it wasn't.
I know
great,
it's not saying much, but the reason I bring it up is I'll watch junk, but I'm not going to watch junk like DC Berlanti show junk anymore.
No, you're better off watching the Murder Mystery 2. It's definitely better. But Okay, that's got some nights. That's we're saving you people an hour. You owe us an hour. Every
Yes,
time.
definitely.
We're saving you 46 minutes.
Don't do it, people.
Yeah, you're listening to this crap instead of watching that crap.
Exactly. You're better. This is much better than that.
This is. It's more entertaining.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. What's in the box?
Show you with the box. Who's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Regular Joe's What's in the Box.
Who wants to go first? Barry, why don't you go? What do you got? What's in? Todd, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll be quick.
He raised his hand.
I'll be quick. This is the tiniest action figure that I own. It's Bo-Katan. It's 1 inch tall, just under 1 inch, really.
Didn't you call her Bo-Katan in her
Bo-Katan, yes. She's got 4 points of articulation. She came with this ship.
The ship that Sean had last week.
That Sean had last week. That's why I'm not talking
about
about the ship. I'm talking about the figure.
Okay.
But I will say...
No, I'm just saying, that is that when you bought it?
That's when I bought it.
It's just proof positive that our little support group really works.
So...
Because he bought that while the show was being recorded.
We were theorizing why the ship turned into this, from horizontal to this vertical configuration last week when we were talking on the show. And my theory was you do that when you go into hyperspace. And then we saw this week's episode of Mandalorian, and she didn't do that when she went into hyperspace. And I went back and I watched the Clone Wars, and it did. When they went into hyperspace, they went into the vertical mode, and they came out in horizontal mode. But anyways, cool model, cool ship, the Gauntlet ship, and again, it came with a little micro Bo-Katan that, like I said, is an inch.
Does the helmet come off?
But the helmet does not come off. It might, but I'm not going to try because I would break it. I actually thought I was going to break it. I was trying to see if the neck pivoted, because that would have been 5 points of articulation.
It pivots. It just comes off in your hand.
But yeah. So anyway.
I was in Target this weekend, and I couldn't believe how many vehicles and things they have in that line.
I looked it up the other
shelves.
day.
Yeah.
There's a ton of
ton.
them. It is unfortunate.
What's the company? It's a different company, right?
It's not Hasbro. Yeah.
No,
it's like
it's Micro Machines Jazzwares. I will say it is unfortunate that they don't seem at all to be to scale to each other.
Yeah, so as I say, they're not in scale with anything.
So
I'm just amazed that I've somehow resisted. I haven't bought a single one of these things.
I am kind of amazed by that, Barry. I have
It
something
seems
Star
so
Wars that you don't,
out of
Barry.
character for me, doesn't it?
It doesn't even. That seems wrong somehow.
So they're making them across. I know Sean showed us a bunch. They're making them across a bunch of movies and stuff,
Yep.
or is it?
Yes.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
movies
movies
and
and
shows.
shows.
And
I will say if the Mando, the original Mando ship in this line
Razor
is
Crest?
crazy expensive for the Razor Crest, but I will jump on the current ship if that comes out, because that's now growing on me, and this like I said thing is very cool. So yep. Barry, what do you got?
I texted you guys a picture of this the other day, but I just figured I'd show it. This is the retro Indiana Jones figure that just came out from Kenner, Hasbro Kenner, whatever you want to say. But it visually looks just like the one from the 80s. When you hold them side by, I have the vintage one. When you hold them side by side, you can see there are some differences, but it's just so cool. We've seen so much retro Star Wars stuff, but to see something like this come out...
For 30 years have not known where your revolver is, you can now get a replacement for $12.
Yeah.
Did you get that in person, or you ordered it?
I actually ended up ordering it through Target, and with my red card and whatever. It was $12, and with the red card and whatever, I think I paid like $13 shipped to my house. So
Can I see the back?
Yep.
And they're making... This is 3 3/4, and then they're making the 6-inch ones too.
They are, but they've got 6 figures that they were doing in the 3 3/4. I'm not going to buy them all, but I just kind of had to get one.
I would get that. I don't know what
I was actually
do with it,
thinking the same thing. I might get
ones.
that just to get it.
I don't even know where I get it from.
Well, you can get it from Target.com. It's $12.
Is it a Target exclusive?
No, it's not. You can get it on, and you can get it
on
anywhere.
Amazon.
You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth.
And he's got that shooting the Arab swordsman action too. So
He does. Now, I did read a review of this, and people are saying that it is actually maybe not as well made as the original one was, because the original one 40 years old and it still works. This one they're saying like it broke when they because it has whipping action and whatever. And
You
so
didn't get
I
one
don't
to
know.
open?
I did not get one to open. I might end up opening this one, but for $12, whatever. I mean, I've got the full series of the original
there it is.
Kenner Indiana Jones toys that you know, but they're also so they're doing six reproduction figures, but then they've also announced a whole series of figures in this style that are figures they never made back in the 80s. So that's got my interest. If you can get a Short Round and a Willie Scott and a Donovan and like those kind of characters, that would be cool.
Oh, it's out of stock on Amazon because it's on sale. Its retail seems like it's $15. It's on sale for
It's $12 everywhere. It's $11.99.
it?
Yeah, you can even get it from Hasbro Pulse. It's $12.
Yeah, but with $12 shipping.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I get it from Target. But yeah, cool figure. I mean, I'm glad I got it, and it, like I said, it's a less expensive what's in the box, but it's kind of cool that they're reproducing this stuff. And you know, we talked about it a little bit last week with Daryl. I mean, he sort of knows more about this than any of us, but who knows how quickly this kind of stuff's going to come and go with the new movie. So, got to grab them when you see them.
You do?
Dave, what's in the box?
Okay. I have a box. I ordered this from my. This is the poster from. Is it upside down? The season 3 poster.
Oh,
Can you
nice.
see that? From Mandalorian season 3.
I got on the app too late. I missed it. It was sold out
They
by the
sold
time I got
out
it.
very
Yeah.
quick. I happened to been online and I saw they were selling at noon our time, 9 a.m. Pacific. So I jumped on it, and then it was immediately sold out. So it was from Disney Movie Insiders. If you should join, it was I have a ton of points, and this was only 400 points.
Yeah, they did it was usually the posters are like 700 or 800 points,
Yeah.
but this was a good deal.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have nowhere to put it, but I just thought it was cool, and I jumped on it, and you could probably resell it because it definitely sold out within
Oh, that's cool.
the first hour. I feel like.
Oh yeah, it was gone. I mean, I found out about it maybe an hour or two after it went up, and it was already gone. So
Yeah, they say they may re-release. They release them another run of them sometimes. But yeah, it's cool. It's double-sided and everything. I don't know what I do with it. It'd be nice to have like a rotating poster frame somewhere, but I don't have that.
you have a movie room. That would be a good place for it. Like you have a theater in your house, Dave.
Yeah, but I don't have any more poster room. Trying not to
No, I hear you.
clog it up. I was on the treadmill yesterday. I'm like, if I could just move that Peloton out of the way, there's a perfect spot for collectibles, but that probably won't happen. So, anyway, that's it. Any last thoughts?
I got one.
I have one
Oh, you
also.
do?
Wait a minute.
Wow,
we don't want
I
to. We don't
don't.
want to talk just Mando and Picard.
No, we'll talk about him next time. We talk about him too much.
I don't think
They,
so.
so-
They'll both be gone in 3 weeks. Anyways, so
So your final thought is it a memorial of any kind?
it is not. So is
All right, then
yours?
you go first. Mine is. So you go first.
Okay, so mine, I guess, is like a piece of advice. Okay, so I told you guys about this. So last week, I got feedback on eBay from someone who won an item that I had for sale, but didn't pay. Now, he actually ultimately asked me to cancel the auction, and then I canceled it, and then he decided he wanted it, and it was a whole thing. The guy wanted to renegotiate, and so, anyways, weeks later, I discovered he left me a few days ago a negative feedback. So I was pretty pissed about this. So I went on to the customer support thing for eBay, and you open the little chat window, and it's automated. And I typed in, "I want to speak to someone," and they said, I said, "I want a phone call," and they said, "Please enter your number," and immediately I got a phone call, and I explained the circumstances, and within 5 minutes, that feedback was gone. And I actually talked to a live person in the United States who was extremely helpful. And if you're ever in that situation, I really recommend doing that. We pay them a whole lot of money, but I was very pleased to get that kind of response. And as I told you guys, there was another issue that I had work-related with Google, and I spent the entire day on Friday trying to get somebody at Google on the phone, and ultimately I had to go through some different connections to get somebody to deal with this issue. But having a company like that who actually will call you within a minute and within 5 minutes resolve your issue was very refreshing. So,
no, I agree. I mean, I know I texted this back to you, but for the amount that they take in auction fees, they should have great customer service. So it's nice to hear that they actually do.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, so you're getting something of what you're paying for. So, yep,
that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's funny, and I was just looking up. Barry, I commented on your. Did you see?
Yes.
So Barry's selling something, a vintage Mego figure on one of the sites on Facebook,
Marketplace.
And some fucking jerk off is like, "Why would anyone want to buy that when you can buy a repro for $25? It's crazy." Like, are you
and
freaking
I've
idiot?
been trying to take the high road with my comments back to these people.
Oh,
it's
so
like
hard.
there are some people that still value the original vintage item and want that and will pay that for it.
And I posted, I'm like, I don't buy and do anything with this group. I'm like, it's so sad that people don't know the difference between vintage and repros. Like this guy was like, some guy's selling something, and you got to be like, you don't have the sense of any collecting of any sort that you think a repro is the same as an original thing from the 70s. What's this guy's name? Let's call him out. He's a tool.
Let's see.
I don't know what his name is.
Michael Condon is his name. But then another tool named Jim Richardson added on to that. I don't know if you saw his comment, Dave, but he wrote, "A fool and their money are soon parted. Hey, if you can find someone to pay something loose and beat to hell, good for him."
Oh, I didn't see that one.
At this point in my life, I'm good with brand new repros. And I just responded back and said, beat to hell? Not quite. But it's a almost 50-year-old toy. Like, it's not in the best condition, and I was very honest and open about the condition. But it's still a $400 figure.
Yeah. What do you with your minimum wage job? You probably have flipping burgers, jerk off.
Look, for years it was. So we're talking about a Star Trek Mego Romulan figure. It was like the rarest Mego figure you could get, practically, and it was selling for like over $1,000 at one point in its heyday. They're hard to get vintage in good condition. This one's in pretty good condition. It's not great, but
Barry, why would I want that when I can get a repro? No, sir.
Yeah, why would I ever leave my mother's basement when I could just buy a repro?
Yeah.
You guys are douchebags.
This is the world we live in now, unfortunately. That's why so many of the collectibles from the 60s and 70s, like the action figures from the 60s and 70s, everything's been reproduced. So,
but no, the world we live in is you're doing on a Facebook group that is a sale group, and you want to sell something, and if someone doesn't want to buy it, they feel like it's their place to put in a negative comment.
Would you walk into somebody's store and start like bad-mouthing the items they have on the shelves? Like, I mean,
some of these people, there's, I will say, and this is, I've dealt with this in a number of places in the last week, okay? There's a certain degree of autonomy that comes with the anonymity of the internet.
Of course.
And some people cannot handle that. Now, a lot of those people are the middle school boys that I work with, but unfortunately, a lot of them are also adults. And you know, it's just like, dude, just like, you know, be 25% less an ass. Try that on for size. See how it works for you.
But I've seen plenty of things posted by people for sale that I'm like, oh, good luck, you're never going to get that. I don't actually write it, though. I don't actually comment on their attempt to sell something and try to, like, you know, pull the rug out from under their sale. It's just, it's fucked up. It's stupid.
It is. These people, they just got no lives.
All right, well, I did have...
And on that note...
I did have a final thought, real quick.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It wasn't that, but I just... Angie Mayhew passed away yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Peter Mayhew's wife. She was at Rhode Island Comic-Con last year when we were there.
Yep.
You know, she's... I think they got married in like 99 or 2000, and she was always, you know, at all the events he went to, she was always there with him. sounds like it was a complication from some type of heart valve replacement surgery.
Oh, jeez.
But anyway, just thought it was worth mentioning. The Mayhew Foundation has been, doing a lot of good work, and they're always at conventions and, raising money. And I think a couple weeks ago I talked about that coin I had bought from the Mayhew Foundation. But, when Peter passed away, she was carrying on the torch with all that, and that's just, I figured it was worth mentioning that she passed away a couple days ago.
Yeah, a lot of not nice things said about her a lot of nice things said about her on the internet. I'm sure there's some jerk-offs who said mean things, but let's ignore those because a lot of nice things were said about people who actually matter, who knew her. So that's
agreed.
Too bad. Sad. Okay, next week, maybe we'll talk about John Wick if Todd gets to see John Wick.
I'm actually going to... I was talking about it with my family. They all want to go see it now, so I think we might try to see it before...
Have you seen the other 3 films?
I have, but not in a while. But I remember them enough to not have to rewatch them.
Okay.
There's some shooting in this.
You would never... Had you never seen a single John Wick movie, Todd?
I have seen all 3 films in the space of the last 2 weeks. Okay.
But
they
prior
were not
to that,
meant
had
to
you
be
never
consumed.
seen one?
I will say they were not meant to be consumed in a continuous stream.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay, I'll tell you. We'll talk a lot of. If you guys see it, we'll talk a lot John Wick next week. But I'll leave you with this tidbit. Through the first 3 movies, do you know how many people he kills? I know the number.
Oh, it's got to be.
There's actually a
800?
number for that. Okay.
It's 299.
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that.
Through the first 3 movies.
We'll talk more about this because I've got some observations. I will say.
But my question for you, Todd, though, had you never seen one of these prior to this binge?
There's a very good reason I've never seen one.
Beagle
of these.
situation.
Oh, I know. It's the dog.
Okay. It's like,
Where was Darwin? Were you covering his eyes?
No,
during
Darwin
this
sat
whole
on my
thing?
lap. We did it. We got through it together. It was very disturbing, but we're okay. We've moved past it. So you had that was your statistic, okay? I kept track of certain things. He was hit by a car 9 times in these 3 movies. Okay? Hit by a car 9 times.
Wait till you see 4. Let me just say that.
It's like, yeah.
It's not based in reality, but it's just... It's awesome.
Nothing about those movies are based in reality, which is part of the fun.
I'm sitting there with the biggest smile on my face, and Pam's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm watching this."
There's a ward full of broken stuntmen who look a little bit like
he does
Keanu
a lot of
Reeves.
his own stuff too. I give him a ton of credit.
And it's like, hey, we're gonna do another John Wick,
and he's our age too. Well, just so like Tom Cruise is too. But
I will say, I did think of this the other night. He does not run like Tom Cruise. He's a very awkward runner.
Nobody runs like Tom Cruise.
But he's he does a lot of running, and it's not that kind of poised, balanced thing that Tom Cruise has got. So,
there's a lot we can talk about. That's a whole show. So see if you guys can see it, and then we could do a whole show.
I will definitely see it. So,
yeah, we're gonna try to see it before the weekend. So
I'll give you a recommendation. There's a guy on YouTube who tried to make a bulletproof suit. You may want to watch that too.
Okay. So, yeah. So, I will say my favorite supporting character in the whole series was probably one of Halle Berry's dogs.
Oh, I was going to say the Glock 34.
No, it was the crotch biting dogs.
Yeah. Oh, those dogs are great. Okay. On that note.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.